a simple premise, which is that it's really valuable and life-enhancing to seek one's own happiness and the happiness of others, to seek that equally for oneself and for others, not to put oneself ahead of others, not necessarily to put others ahead of oneself, but to recognize that we're all in this together and to live accordingly. I think it's important to talk about ethics. And when we speak about ethics, it's easy to fall into this notion that ethics is a discussion of the rules of life. How should I live? What are the rules I should live by? What is the ethical code I should follow? I get that. That's a natural way of thinking. And it's a delicate balance that one has to strike here. On the one hand, religions over the years have sought to teach moral codes, their moral laws. This is how we, the followers of this religion, live and are expected to live. And that morality has sometimes been coercive and restrictive. There's been an attempt on the part of various religions at various times to curb people's sexual impulses, to coerce various forms of behavior in order perhaps to exert some degree of social control, perhaps, or for the sake of wider social mores, the needs of the group, however you want to frame that. And that's often been the way in which spiritual values have been spoken of, as if they somehow coincide with these particular moral codes. I want to suggest one that may be simpler, a basis of living that we could think about that is just simpler than that and is founded on a simple common human truth. And this is that none of us wants to suffer. None of us wants to suffer. We all want to be happy. No living thing wishes to suffer. No living thing wishes to suffer. So the avoidance of the suffering of others, the avoidance of the infliction of suffering upon others, and the striving for the happiness and well-being of others, surely is a simple, sound basis for life. I want others to be happy. I want to be happy. I don't want to inflict suffering on others. I don't want to suffer myself. And then the question really is, well, what? How? How do you live to bring this about? And there's just no recipe for that. There's no simple recipe. You can think about the need to uphold workable, healthy social frameworks, and that includes frameworks within which we don't inflict violence upon one another, where we don't steal from one another, where we respect the value of social cohesion and therefore seek to be honest without trying to distort reality by lying and untruthfulness, where we try to curb our own appetites so that we don't just feed our own needs ahead of the needs of others, where we don't take more than is our due. In various ways, this kind of falls out of a simple premise, which is that it's really valuable and life-enhancing to seek one's own happiness and the happiness of others, to seek that equally for oneself and for others, not to put oneself ahead of others, not necessarily to put others ahead of oneself, but to recognize that we're all in this together and to live accordingly.